Right, good evening. It's the end of the IU spring game. It's been a productive spring. I'm here with Campbell Manahan, Ben Gillard, I'm Sammy Jacobs for Hoosier Huddle. And the spring game went pretty well. You had a picture-perfect day in Bloomington. I would say about 10 to 15,000 people on the east side of the stands. You saw Fernando get picked number one. You saw the offense defeat the defense. Some big plays by some new players. Tyler Morris looked good. We'll start with Ben. Ben, what was your biggest takeaway from today?
I mean, biggest takeaway for me is no one got hurt. And I feel like that's what you look for when you go into something like this. You mentioned Tyler Morris, guy who got hurt last spring. So happy to have him back healthy, and he showed it off. He was my spring game MVP. I mean, he showed the flashes of speed that we saw from him at Michigan here, and in that connection, you know, Josh Hoover even talked about it in his post-game press conference. He talked about how he called him Timo, has got all that experience, and that connection is only going to grow as the season moves on.
Yeah, Grant Wilson found Morris for a 75-yard touchdown to open the scoring. Campbell, you focused a lot on the defense. The defense was very impressive today. What was your biggest takeaway?
I thought for the defense, the overall biggest takeaway was the defensive line just got at it. They interrupted just Josh Hoover and any quarterback who was out there, just everything they wanted to do. Josh Hoover got happy feet early a lot with that, and they got to him. He would scramble away, throw the ball away, get sacked. Just a lot of the defensive line was able to cause a lot of pressure. And really, I thought Bryant Haynes called a great game in terms of just drawing up blitzes at the right time. They blitz any defensive back, linebacker, just about everybody, it felt like, was able to blitz at least once throughout the game, just showing versatility throughout the game.
There's a lot more blitzing in the spring game than I would have thought. Usually it's you play your base defense, you don't send anything exotic, and they were blitzing pretty well. I think on the defensive side, what stood out to me the most is the size of the defensive ends from Kansas State.
Yeah.
They are both huge. They both are quick. They both made plays. I think the defensive line, yes, they've lost a couple stars. Might be even better this year.
It might be better, and it's just going to be the key, I think, to the defense all year. It's been the keys to defenses in the past and how you win a championship with the defense is you get after the quarterback, you create pass rush, you stop the run early, you make the team be one-dimensional, and I think this defensive line can do that really well.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about Josh Hoover, Ben. Everybody's going to compare him to Fernando.
Yeah,
and it's not fair.
It's not fair. I mean, I feel like he must feel like the weight of the world is on his shoulders, especially tonight. You see Fernando go number one. The fans go nuts for it. He's even asked about it in the press conference. You know, he had some happy feet, but what we are so quick to forget is Fernando had happy feet at the beginning of last season in the spring game, and then even into the start of that season. I mean, really was around that Penn State game where he started eating those hits, the Oregon game as well, and he could really step up in the pocket. And so, you know, Sig always talks about with these transfer quarterbacks that they follow sort of the similar blueprint. And obviously, I mean, Fernando Mendoza is one of a kind. The way he prepares and analyzes the game is unmatched. But really, as this season progresses, I'm expecting Josh Hoover, who's a guy who's played a ton of football, to really grow into this system. And I think those happy feet will start to disappear as he gets more comfortable.
Yeah, I think fans who might be nervous about it can hang their hat on the throw down the sideline to Davion Chandler, which was a frozen rope, stuck it in through a tight window, and I think it went for 23 yards. I think keep unofficial stats. I don't know how accurate they are. But that was a hell of a throw. Davion Chandler is going to be a star in this.
Yes.
And, you know, I wanted to ask Sig, the play that stood out to me the most was his block on a run.
Yes.
He goes in motion, comes into the line, and hits a defender. You're like, okay, he's going to play in this offense just based on that play. And then you saw the catches he made downfield on a couple of times. Nick Marsh also. He abused Jalen Bell. This must have been the same referee crew as the Peach Bowl.
Right.
There was a pass interference defensive holding where Jalen Bell literally climbed on the back of
and
Marsh
it was
for
the
15
latest
yards.
flag
you've
ever
seen.
seen.
The worst spot you've ever seen. He did drop a couple picks, and he did get another defensive holding.
He did.
So a tough night for Jalen Bell. But Nick Marsh really, I think, is going to be a big weapon in this offense in the passing game.
absolutely. And IU fans have seen that before. We've seen Nick Marsh go up against a stout IU defense back when we played him in East Lansing. And the start of that game, Nick Marsh was really slicing through that defense.
Both games against Michigan State. You know, Nick Marsh scored a touchdown here last year. He had the phenomenal catch in the end zone up at East Lansing in that game. Final thoughts. We'll start with you, Campbell. What are your final thoughts from tonight?
I think overall, once again, we just need to emphasize the best part of this is not many injuries, or no injuries really coming out of this. That's great. That's what you want out of the spring game. Nobody hurt. That's phenomenal. And then I think a lot of it was just I think it's clear that this IU team does have depth. While maybe they're inexperienced currently, but I think it has a lot of promise to grow as the season continues. This is very early, and I think it's just a really good spot to be in spring.
Ben, final thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I think ton of upside. I think also the 12th man for IU is officially starting to make it here. I mean, we saw a great crowd here today. First time back on the field since the national championship. And Sid talked about it when he got here, that if you build it, they will come. They have shown up here, and I think they're going to make Memorial Stadium a tough place to play come next season.
Yeah, you know, my final thoughts are going to go to special teams.
Yeah.
Nico Radic has boomed a 50-yard field goal, and then Patty McAteer, the Irish McAteer.
Patty McAteer out of
Nigel Groff.
Yes.
Hit a 58-yarder that was probably good from at least 65.
Yes.
So you're going to have that, probably those kicking duties kind of like you had last year with Brendan Franke. But we found out what Nico Radic's range today, which is about 50, maybe 51, 52. But he hits them. McAteer that was an impressive kick. That was good from 65.
The old shillelagh.
Yeah.
That's what it's
so,
called.
and then just, you know, the crowd was phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully going through this, you know, the crowd shows up on September 5th, and you're starting to build, even though you won a national title, you're still building a football culture.
Which is
Indiana.
crazy.
Yeah, so, you know, you say don't put the cart before the horse, but you did. You built the national title team, and now you're expecting people to come, and I think they will. Some announcements that were on the scoreboard, I don't know if you guys saw them. Ohio State will be the Redout game on October 7th. There's also Band Day and other days, and
then
homecoming is Halloween.
That is
Homecoming
going to be a big.
That is going to be a big game. I'm hoping. Look, Ohio State's probably going to be a new game.
Right.
It's probably going to be a Fox
off.
game.
Yeah.
Unless their draft goes differently than I think.
Right, but
Halloween night homecoming game
would be awesome.
That crowd.
That crowd would be awesome. You have Minnesota coming in, so a lot to look forward to. We'll have it all broken down on HoosierHuddle.com. Of course, we have the 100-day countdown, which is starting in about 6 weeks.
Wow.
It's coming up.
All right, that does it. You can follow us on Twitter at Hoosier_Huddle. You can read all of our work at HoosierHuddle.com. Come on the forums, talk football, basketball. Campbell's been covering baseball. We've been covering softball as well. A lot of IU sports to talk about. So enjoy your night. Big thing, nobody got hurt.
Nobody got hurt.
So that's a successful night. Thank you for watching. Thank you for reading, and thank you for listening.